Hi guys, it's Miss Congleton again, and I'd like to share with you a book about making clay. And when you get onto your Google Classroom and you participate in the lesson that Miss Story taught you about making pottery and making clay, this will really kind of remind you of what she taught you. So the title is Making Clay by Robin Kuntz, and this is a nonfiction book. It teaches you all about the process of making clay and how we kind of got to use it and how it was used so long ago. So as you can see, got a little boy here covered in mud. I'm sure you've been covered in mud a couple times too in your life, as I have. This is a mixture of dirt and water, and it may contain clay materials. Have you ever splashed in mud with your bare feet? Did it squish between your toes? Goo-like mud has been used to make everything from teeth to skyscrapers. If you have ever made a mud pie, then you may have worked with clay. You know you've made a mud pie. I've made a mud pie. How clay forms. So where does clay come from? Clay forms when big rocks break into small pieces. This can happen because of rain, wind, and other forces of nature. Clay can be formed from rocks all over the world. And David at Tater Knob Pottery talked to you about this also in the art lesson that Miss Story has prepared for you. The pieces of rock wash down streams and rivers. Larger pieces are dropped along the way. The smaller, lighter pieces keep flowing downstream. In time, they settle on riverbeds and around lakes. This journey can take thousands of years. Many different types of clay are formed. Clay appears in lots of colors, such as brown, purple, orange, red, gold, and gray. This is because of other minerals that mix in with the clay pieces along the way. And this is where the clay ends up. So what makes clay so special? Sometimes the clay pieces stay with the big rocks. They might be in a pocket or a crater. Since these clay bits do not pick up other minerals from streams and rivers, they are called pure clay. Pure clay is also called kaolin or china clay. What makes clay so special then? Clay minerals cling to water like no other natural minerals. When you combine clay minerals with water, you create a chemical mixture. A chemical mixture is a combination of elements that keep their own chemical properties. Chemical mixtures can be separated again by physical means, such as heat. So, when you add the right amount of water, the clay minerals and water mix together to take on any shape you'd like, just like this little boy's doing down here. This special property of clay, when it is mixed with water, is called plasticity. And Miss Story is going to teach you how to make your own clay. She's going to share that recipe with you. Read that recipe. You'll learn some cool things. Early uses for clay. Who were the first people to use the clay? Somebody must have noticed that squishy goo along the riverbed long ago. Maybe they got some between their toes. Nobody is sure when people figured out that clay was something they could use. Some of the earliest shards or broken pieces of clay pottery were found in a very old cave in Japan. Scientists believe those shards were over 12,000 years old. And Mr. David at Tater Knob Pottery talked to you about this also. Some of the oldest artifacts found are this kind of stuff, pottery made from clay. Now, to make the bricks rainproof, people tried heating them even more in order to use for building materials. To get them really hot, they baked them in a kiln or clay oven. The oven could be just a small space with a fire inside. It worked, and I think you saw this on your lesson from Miss Story at Tater Knob. Mr. David taught you or showed you how he used his kiln, which is really cool. Once the bricks were fired or baked at high temperature, rain didn't affect them. They were even stronger. The heat dried up the water in the bricks. The chemical mixture of clay and water was separated again by heat. The high temperature also caused the brick particles to bond together, making them rock hard. As you can see right here, they used that long ago in making pyramids. and other structures long time ago. And Mr. David talked to you about that in Miss Story's art lesson. Using clay today, clay has been used to create things such as statues, dolls, fine china, pottery, tiles, pipes, teeth, cooking pots, lamps, furniture, marbles, and musical instruments. Houses might have clay roofs, clay walls, and clay floors. Clay was even used as medicine to soothe wounds. Clay can be found just about anywhere in the world. Many ancient uses of clay are still with us today. So when you get your art lesson from this story, you can make some things like this too, guys, to show off. And that's the end of Baking Clay by Robin Kuntz. Find a place, maybe you can search online for different ways to make clay or different ideas to make clay with the recipe that Miss Story shares with you. Thank you.